But speaking of yummy, we have the return of Maggie and Mary's soups to QVC. And I remember when they debuted, really wasn't that long ago. It was within the last year or two that we've had Maggie and Mary's on the air. I have been serving this to my family and everybody just loves it because it's the ultimate comfort food. And you're getting a 6-count in our gourmet soup mixes. So that means it's $6.64 a box. If you break it down for the servings on each box, it's only $1.10 per serving. Your shipping is free. It's in 53959. Before I go through all the flavors, Marie-Louise Ludwig,
Hello.
what was that you just put on the pasta?
This is the beauty of Maggie and Mary's. Their Roadhouse Chili got a little bit of sass to it, tastes great just as it is in bowl. Maybe a few crackers on the top. But the things you can do with it, I just made Cincinnati chili. A little bit of spaghetti, which is quick to make. I poured the chili over the top. I added a little bit of cheese, and you are ready to go. You've got a complete meal.
That looks so delicious.
Right
First of all, hello again.
Hi.
Mwah. Okay, I'm going to step right over here so that we can see everything that you're getting, because that chili that we just talked about is only one of the flavors that you're getting here. And in the 6-count, you're getting the Roadhouse Chili that we talked about, the cheddar broccoli soup, which is just the ultimate comfort food with a little bit of those vegetables in there so the kids won't even be bothered eating it. Then we have the chicken noodle soup, but they don't use the long noodles that smack you in the face. They use the shorter, rounder noodles that are fun to eat. Then we come down to the burger beef soup, the creamy potato chowder, which blows my mind every time I have it because I cannot believe that that flavor comes from something that can cook up within a half an hour just by adding water. And then there is the classic wild rice soup, which is one of the heartiest, most satisfying, delicious recipes to eat, especially during the colder winter months.
For you.
Look at this. So Maggie and Mary, we spoke about them at the beginning of the show, but if we weren't here, hi ladies, because I know they're watching. Mwah, you make the best soups in the world. So they're two girls that really grew up on farms, right?
They did, and they know what really good soup is. So what they wanted to do, they got together, they decided to replicate the delicious flavor that they knew from childhood and growing up from their grandmothers and put it into a soup. But what we want you to know is the time and the effort and the love that went into it. This does not start with a big old pot of soup that gets dehydrated. Right. Each ingredient in here is purposefully chosen. They're all separate and then put together for the recipe. The flavors on these do not start to bloom until they hit the water. And may I say, with water in mind, if you can boil water, if you can open a package, if you can stir and simmer for 15 to 25 minutes, you have soup that is this creamy, this rich, this delicious. By the way, this is the cheddary broccoli cheddar soup, velvety smooth.
Look at that.
Easy,
Dan Wheeler is coming.
easy to make. You can take this one.
Oh, I can take this one.
Take the bread bowl.
Oh, thank you.
So
this is
easy
my
to
favorite.
make.
I was able to get some of these.
Is broccoli cheddar your favorite?
Broccoli cheddar is awesome.
It's good.
Oh, it's tremendous.
It's got a
Might be hot.
It's got a Wisconsin cheddar, a velvety cheddar all the way through it. Everything is sourced locally, so you've got the milk and you've got the cheddar and you've got those tender little broccoli gems in there.
Yeah, you know, Sharon,
Go
on a
ahead.
winter's day, this warms the cockles of your heart.
Indeed, it
Gotta love
does.
soup.
And I think, you know, your voice is sounding better today, Dan Wheeler. He's been eating a little bit of soup, and it's been helping him out. But I do need to let you know, a lot of folks are already picking up more than one set. And you know Maggie and Mary's. If you're ordering more than one set, it's because you know when they're on and they're here, great, but there are sometimes a couple of months that go by before we have the chance to see them again. And we do not have auto delivery on this. So if someone wants to stock up from now, because it's already chilly throughout Christmas time and Hanukkah and winter season, and then going off into the next year, how long will they stay good for?
Oh my gosh, 2 years. So it is a warm, hot, delicious, satisfying meal at the ready. This happens to be the creamy potato chowder.
This blows my mind.
And look what I'm doing here. I am making loaded baked potato.
Love.
And it's as simple. You've come home, you've had a long day, you've been busy, everybody's running around, but soup brings everybody to the table. It's warm, it's nourishing, it's thoughtfully prepared. You can make it right out of the package as is. You can add your own things to it, like the chicken noodle, for example. You can put turkey in that right now if you wanted to.
You know what? Yeah, what do you do with your leftover turkey?
You add chicken to that. You can add anything you want to it. So versatile, so many different ways of making it, but you are bringing something to the table that everybody in the family is going to love.
Now, I have to say, you know, the holidays are crazy. It's getting cold outside. It may not be necessarily snowing yet, but after a really long day of going to rehearsals for concerts and the kids are doing sports and they're outside and it's just it's freezing and it's wet and it's gross and you just want to come in, maybe even after a day of shopping or being out, even your local food store gets crazy. You just want the most delicious comfort food, and that is exactly what this is all throughout the winter. What are you going to serve to those people who are staying with you for days at a time? This is easy, except I do need to ask, there are a couple that you do add protein to.
Yes,
isn't that correct?
you can. And like the Roadhouse Chili, you can do burger meat. You could do beef, you could do venison if you wanted to, you could do chunks of leftover roast beef. This one that you're having right here is the burger beef. This tastes like grandma's pot roast in a bowl. You can use any kind of meat that you want in here. I like a preference of a red meat in there. You could use deer meat if you wanted to, if you love deer. But the point to all this is you still don't want to compromise. You still want that great taste from scratch. It's something that's just quietly and gently simmering on your stovetop that you really kind of made from scratch, but kind of got a lot of help from Maggie and Mary on it, but just ready and easy to go.
You know what, to your point, these all taste like scratch baked recipes. That is what they taste like, but you're only doing that last finishing touch, that cooking of that last half an hour, so they taste fresh. They don't even compare to something that you get out of a can. Like, I don't even want to talk about that, but this really is the best taste, and you can, you know, tweak some of the ingredients that are in there to customize it to your liking. And by the way, 800 of these are gone. There's no auto delivery. I don't know if we will have this on air again before the holidays are even over. It could be January before we see these guys on the air again. And I think that that's really important because I feel really good about serving. Oh, I love the wild rice. I add usually diced chicken to the wild rice. To just beef it up a little bit.
I have been living on the chicken noodle soup, and may I say that I love to make my own soup. How do I like to doctor it up a little bit? Be your own gourmet chef. I actually use bone broth instead of water. You could use chicken broth if you want to enrich it a little bit. But may I just say, you really don't have to do it because they took the time and the effort and the love to put together ingredients that will taste delicious simply by boiling water, ripping open the package, pouring it in, stirring it, and gently simmering it, and you're ready to go, or you can make it your own.
And you know what? We started with 2,100 of these. 800 of these now remain, and I would highly recommend getting more than one set because there's no auto delivery. And I don't know when they'll be back on again. And you get one each. Roadhouse Chili, cheddar broccoli. What did I say? Cheddar broccoli? Cheddar broccoli soup, chicken noodle soup, burger beef, the creamy potato chowder, the classic wild rice. It's $6.64 per pouch, but based on serving size, it's a little over $1 a serving, and then you just add protein where it might be necessary. This stretches a long, long, long way, my dear. Thank you so much.
See you soon.
Oh, yes, with the Usto.
Warm cheese.
That is going to be happening very shortly. That does go great with soup.
Goes great with soup.
And now I'm going to throw it over to Dan Wheeler, who has a little something sweet. And he's got cookies, too.
Yes, I do. My little something sweet is Mary Eckenroth. That was a good one, Sharon. That was one of your best ones. And we've got a lot of Cheryl's cookies. Cheryl's